The Tuesday started like any other in my Detroit garage. I was under a rusty Ford F-150, tightening bolts on a busted transmission when the door creaked open. Footsteps echoed, sharp, deliberate. Lauren's voice cut through the hum of my tools. "Alex, we need to talk." I slid out on the creeper, wiping sweat from my forehead with the back of my hand. At 35, I'd built this place from nothing after my dad passed, turning wrenches 12 hours a day to keep the lights on. Lauren, 32, stood there holding a manila folder tight against her chest. We'd been married 8 years, shared everything. Or so I thought. Our daughter Sophie, 7, was the glue, but lately, Lauren had pulled away, chasing dreams of bigger houses and fancier circles. "What's this about?" I asked, standing up straight. She didn't meet my eyes at first. Instead, she glanced at my grease-stained hands, then thrust the folder at me. "Divorce papers. Sign them." I flipped it open. The forms were stamped from Wayne County, everything pre-filled. Custody for her, weekends for me with Sophie. Alimony that would stretch my budget thin. "Lauren, we've got a kid. A home. Why now?" She crossed her arms. "Because this life isn't enough. You're killing yourself in this garage for what? Scraps? My friends from yoga, doctors' wives, real estate guys, they live different. Vacations, private schools for their kids. I want that for Sophie. For us. But you're stuck here." I felt the punch, but kept my voice steady. I'd always been the fixer, the one who didn't break. "I work hard for us. Paid off your student loans, fixed every car that broke down. Sophie's got a dad who shows up. Not the kind that matters," she snapped. "Money matters. Stability. You've got none of it." She turned and walked out, the door slamming behind her. I stood there, papers in hand, the garage suddenly too quiet except for the distant traffic on I-75. That evening, as the sun dipped low, I couldn't shake it. Sophie was at her mom's for the week, but I needed to clear my head. My neighbor, Mrs. Ramirez, 68 and widowed, flagged me down in the driveway. Her old Chevy wouldn't start, alternator dead. "Alex, I can't afford a tow," she said, worry etching her voice. "Forget it," I replied, grabbing my toolkit. I popped the hood, tested the battery, and swapped the alternator in under an hour. "No charge. Drive safe. Call if it acts up." She hugged me quick. "You're a good man, Alex. Not like the others." As she drove off, I felt a spark of purpose. That's who I was, reliable, no strings. Lauren didn't see it, but others did. The next morning, I opened the garage early, determined to push through. Customers trickled in, oil changes, brake jobs. By noon, I was elbow deep in an engine when a sleek black Lincoln pulled up outside. Not the usual ride for this industrial strip on the east side. A man in his late 50s stepped out, tall, silver-haired, carrying a leather briefcase. "Alex Rivera," he called. "That's me." I wiped my hands on a rag and met him at the bay door. "Name's Harlan Tate. I'm an estate attorney from Chicago. Your Uncle Victor passed 6 months ago. Distant relative, brother to your dad. He left something for you." He didn't elaborate until we were in the small office at the back, door shut against the noise. He set the briefcase on the desk and pulled out a sealed envelope. "Read this first. Then we talk conditions." My hands shook slightly as I tore it open. Inside, a handwritten letter from Uncle Victor, shaky script from his final days, and a document listing assets. My eyes scanned the numbers, $500 million. Investments, properties, stocks. It hit like a wrench to the gut. The letter was blunt. "Alex, money tests a man. I built my life fixing trains in the yards, never flashed cash. Now I've got more than I can spend, but it's yours with rules. 5 years. Tell no one, not family, not friends, not your ex-live normal. If you break silence, it all goes to charity. Prove you're rich without it. Your character decides." I looked up at Harlan. 5 years. That's insane. What if I need it? For Sophie emergencies? He nodded. "There's a discretionary fund, $20,000 a year for legit needs. No lifestyle jumps. Investigators will watch spending, leaks. Uncle Victor set it up tight after a bad experience with greedy kin. He slid over a checkbook and account details. The trust in your name, but locked until the term ends." I leaned back, mind racing. Lauren had just walked out, calling me broke. Now this. I could call her, wave the papers, watch her scramble back. But Victor's words stuck, character over cash. "I won't tell," I said firmly. "I'll earn my way." Harlan's eyes sharpened with approval. "He bet you'd say that." As he left, I pocketed the checkbook in my toolbox, locked tight. The garage buzzed on. A customer honked for his keys, tools clattered. But inside, a fire lit. I'd build from here, for Sophie, for me. No revenge yet, just resolve. Lauren thought she knew my limits. She'd learn different, in time. That night, alone in my apartment above the shop, I called Sophie. "Hey, kiddo. Daddy misses you." Her little voice lit up. "When can I come fix cars with you?" "Soon," I promised. As we hung up, I stared at the envelope. 5 years to prove I didn't need the money to be whole. But what if Lauren came crawling back? The thought twisted, but I pushed it down. Action over anger. That's how I'd win. Months blurred into a routine that kept me grounded. Year 1 hit hard after the divorce finalized in Wayne County Court. Lauren got primary custody of Sophie. I got every other weekend and holidays, plus alimony payments that nipped at my savings. But I didn't fold. I poured everything into the garage on Jefferson Avenue, hiring Jack, a 17-year-old dropout from the neighborhood who showed up one rainy afternoon asking for odd jobs. "You know engines?" I asked, handing him a broom. "No, sir. But I learned fast." "Start sweeping. Watch everything." Jack did more than clean, he absorbed. By month 3, he handled oil changes solo, his hands steady on the wrench. I taught him diagnostics. Listen to the rattle, feel the resistance. "Cars tell stories if you pay attention," I said. He nodded, eyes focused. The garage turned a corner. Word spread about fair prices, no upsells. Customers from Hamtramck and even Grosse Pointe started driving in. Weekends with Sophie were my anchor. The first pickup after court, Lauren dropped her off at the garage curb at noon sharp. Sophie, 7 and all energy, bolted from the car with her purple backpack swinging. "Daddy, can we fix something big today?" I scooped her up. "Transmission on that truck?" "You bet." Lauren lingered by her SUV, arms crossed. Don't fill her head with greased dreams. "And Alex, alimony's due Friday. Ryan's taking us to a fundraiser, real people, not shop talk." Ryan, her new guy, a 38-year-old stockbroker from Bloomfield Hills with a corner office and a Porsche. I'd seen his type. Flash over follow-through. "Tell Sophie I said hi." I replied evenly, not biting. As Lauren drove off, Sophie tugged my sleeve. "Mommy's boyfriend has a pool. Can we get one?" "Someday, kiddo. For now, let's race wrenches." We spent the afternoon under a minivan, her small hands passing tools. She laughed when oil splashed her sneakers. That night, we grilled burgers on the shop's back patio. Simple, but hers had extra cheese, just how she liked. Bedtime stories were about engines that saved the day, and she slept sound in the spare room I'd cleared out. Tension built mid-year. Lauren started calling midweek, voice edged. "Sophie's school fees are up. Your payments barely cover basics. Ryan says we need more, private tutors, maybe a better district." "I'm current on everything," I said, checking invoices while Jack prepped a brake job nearby. "The garage is growing. It'll get easier." "Easy for you. Stuck in that pit?" She hung up. 2 days later, a letter arrived. Demand for increased alimony, citing changed circumstances with Ryan's lifestyle. I met her lawyer at a coffee shop off Woodward Avenue. "Alex, Lauren's entitled. Ryan's income qualifies her for more." I leaned forward. "Tell her the garage net's steady now. That's what I've got." We settled on a small bump, but it stung. That night, I tallied books, profits up 20%, but still hand to mouth. The checkbook from Harlan burned in my drawer. 20 grand discretionary. I could dip for legal fees, ease the squeeze. But Victor's rule echoed. No big shifts. Prove the man, not the money. Twist 1 came unexpected. Mrs. Ramirez, my neighbor from part 1, called frantic at dawn. "Alex, my granddaughter Rosa, 8 years old, needs heart surgery. Bills are crushing us. $15,000 out of pocket." I knew her story. Single mom, low-wage job, no insurance buffer. Without thinking, I grabbed the secure line to Harlan's firm. Discretionary fund. Anonymous medical payment for the Ramirez family. Hard op. Harlan's assistant confirmed. Approved. Routed through the trust. No trace to you. 2 weeks later, Mrs. Ramirez burst into the garage, tears streaming as she hugged me. "It's paid. Some angel donor. Rose is scheduled next month." The community buzzed. Neighbors pitched in extras, like free daycare from the local church. Jack overheard and grinned. "Boss, you're making waves without trying." Pride swelled, but I shrugged it off. Action spoke, secrecy held. As year 1 closed, Sophie's weekends deepened our bond. She started sketching engines in her notebook, purple crayons for wires. One Saturday, Lauren arrived early to pick her up, Ryan idling in his Porsche outside. "Sophie's been asking about moving in with you. Don't encourage it. She's happy here." I said, helping Sophie pack her backpack. We build things together. Ryan honked. Lauren rolled her eyes. Building fantasies. Ryan's enrolling her in swim classes at the club. Real opportunities. Sophie climbed in quietly, waving. As they left, Jack sidled up. That guy's trouble. Saw his type cheat customers at the dealer down the street. I nodded. Focus on our work. But doubt crept. Ryan's world pulled Lauren further. Instagram posts of galas, tagged #blessed. My feeds. Garage wins, Sophie's drawings. Still, the garage thrived. I added a second bay, trained Jack on alignments. Bills paid, alimony sent. No leaks. Twist 2 struck like a flat tire. Late year 2, Harlan called unprompted. Routine check-in. Investigators note activity. Your ex's boyfriend, Ryan Caldwell. He's under SEC scrutiny. Insider trading whispers. Lauren's tied in socially, but clean so far. My grip tightened on the phone. She know? Possibly. Watch your daughter. If fallout hits, use discretion wisely. I hung up, stomach nodding. That weekend, Sophie arrived quieter, backpack zipped tight. Mommy and Ryan fought. He yelled about money. I knelt to her level. You safe? Yeah. But, can I stay longer? Lauren texted, emergency trip. Keep her till Monday. Ryan's business, in New York, code for dodging probes, I bet. I extended the weekend, teaching Sophie tire rotations. She perked up, hammering lug nuts with gusto. But calls from Lauren ramped. Alimony short this month? Ryan stressed, deals falling through. Sent it yesterday. I confirmed, wiring extra from the fund anonymously via Harlan for Sophie's school supplies. No questions. As she collected Sophie, tension crackled. Ryan's firm froze assets temporarily. Audit nonsense. We need stability, Alex. Garage is stable. That's my offer. She drove off fuming. Inside, resolve hardened. Ryan's scheme was unraveling, pulling her down. I could have warned, or gloated, but silence was my weapon. Jack noticed my edge. Everything good, boss? Better than theirs. Year 2 ended with the garage breaking even. Sophie sketching our team, logo, and a secret fund untouched beyond necessities. Lauren's demands grew, but so did my quiet strength. Revenge? Not yet. Building lasted longer. Year 4 dawned with the garage humming at full tilt. I'd expanded to 3 bays. Jack now a lead tech running alignments and diagnostics like a pro. At 19, he'd enrolled in night classes at Wayne State for auto engineering. Toolbox I'd gifted him always at his side. Boss, we're booked solid, he said one morning, handing me the schedule. Customers from across Detroit flooded in. Word of mouth on honest work beat any ad. Profits climbed, enough to bump alimony without dipping into the secret fund. Sophie, now 11, spent more weekends, her purple backpack stuffed with homework and sketches of custom car designs. Daddy, let's build a hot rod someday, she'd say, passing me sockets during oil changes. Lauren's life, though, cracked under the strain. Ryan's SEC probe escalated mid-year. Insider trading charges stuck, his firm collapsing in a scandal. News hit the local outlets. Bloomfield broker faces felony counts. Lauren stopped posting online. Her calls turned desperate. Alex, Ryan's in cuffs. Our accounts are frozen. Sophie's school tuition, due tomorrow. Please. I wired the exact amount through Harlan's anonymous channel, covering it as a community aid donation. Handled, I told her over the phone, voice even. But this isn't forever. Get a job. Easy for you to say. The garage is your world. She hung up, but the pattern repeated. Emergencies for rent, Sophie's braces, a car repair she couldn't afford. Each time, I fixed it quietly, no credit claimed. Sophie noticed the shifts. During a weekend pickup, she whispered in the garage lot, Mommy cries at night. Ryan's gone, and she says we're broke because of him. I hugged her tight. We'll be okay. Focus on school. That night, we tackled her science project, model engine from scrap parts. Her laugh echoed as she wired the battery, lights flickering on. Building with her kept me steady, the secret's weight lighter with each small win. Twist 1 landed like a seized engine. Late summer, Lauren showed up unannounced at the garage around dusk, Sophie in tow from a school event. No Ryan's Porsche, just her beat-up sedan, dented from a fender bender she couldn't fix. Alex, we need to talk. Now. Sophie hung back by the bay door, fiddling with a wrench. I wiped my hands and stepped out. What's going on? She glanced at Sophie, then lowered her voice. Everything's gone. Ryan's trial starts next month. He's pleading out, could get 10 years. The house is in foreclosure. I want to come back. For Sophie. For us. I was wrong. You were always the stable one. Sophie perked up, eyes wide. Mommy, does that mean we live together again? Lauren knelt. Maybe, baby. If Daddy says yes. Tension coiled. I could end it here, reveal the inheritance, watch her eyes light up with greed. 5 years almost up, the clock ticked. But Victor's test burned, character first. Work it out, I said firmly. Start by getting a job. Garage needs an admin, bookkeeping, scheduling. Pays fair, hours flexible around Sophie. Her jaw tightened. Me? In this place? Filing invoices? Or keep struggling? Your call. She hesitated, then nodded. Fine. When do I start? Sophie cheered, hugging us both. As Lauren drove off to pack an overnight bag, I texted Harlan. No breaches. Still silent. His reply, strong play. Investigators approve. The next week's ramped tension. Lauren clocked in Mondays, handling calls and ledgers with gritted efficiency. Jack raised an eyebrow, but kept quiet. Sophie thrived. Full weeks split between us, her grades up from the stability. But cracks showed. Lauren griped about grease smells during shifts, eyed my growing client list with side glances. Business booms here. How do you swing the extra bay without loans? Hard work. I replied, not breaking stride on a transmission swap. One evening, as she balanced books, Sophie burst in from school with a note. Mom, Dad, field trip to the auto museum. Can we all go? Lauren forced a smile. Sure, kiddo. But later, alone in the office, she cornered me. Alex, be real. Things are turning for you. Ryan's mess. I need help. A loan, something. For a fresh start. Paycheck's direct deposit. Save it. She stormed out, slamming the ledger. I watched her go, resolve stealing. Mercy had limits. Trust had to be earned. Twist 2 hit during Sophie's birthday in October. We planned low-key. Cake at the garage, Jack grilling, a few neighbors. Sophie invited her best friend Mia, and Lauren handled invites. Midway through, as kids played with toy cars outside, Sophie tugged me aside. Her purple backpack unzipped on a workbench. Daddy, look what I found. She held a crumpled note. Ryan's handwriting, dated months back. Lauren, wire the $50,000 to this account. SEC's closing in, your cut's safe. Don't tell the mechanic X. My blood ran cold. Sophie frowned. It was in Mommy's purse. She knew about the bad stuff? I pocketed the note, pulling her close. We'll handle it. Happy birthday, kiddo. Lauren approached with cake slices, oblivious. Everything okay? Fine, I said, but inside, fury built. Not wild, controlled. That night, after Sophie slept, I confronted her in the kitchen. Found this. Ryan's note. You knew about the fraud from the start. She paled, snatching for it. Give me that. It was nothing, I ignored it. You covered for him, endangering Sophie. I held firm. You're done here. Pack your things. Custody hearing tomorrow. I'll file for primary. Alex, please. I was scared. Ryan promised it'd blow over. Actions have consequences. She left in tears, bag slung over shoulder. I called my lawyer at dawn, presenting the note as evidence. Wayne County fast-tracked it. Lauren's knowledge tied her to aiding, minor charges pending. Custody shifted, me full-time, her supervised visits. Sophie woke to the news, hugging me fierce. I want to stay with you, Daddy. You're the fixer. The garage felt charged after. Jack clapped my shoulder. Did right by the kid. Community rallied. Mrs. Ramirez dropped off tamales. The church offered free tutoring for Sophie. Lauren's visits started awkward. Park meetups, her apologies hollow. I lost everything for nothing, she'd say. I'd nod, focus on Sophie swinging higher. As year 4 closed, Harlan checked in. No violations. 1 year left. Uncle Victor would nod. The note's discovery sealed it. Betrayal exposed, not by money, but truth. Tension eased into purpose. I'd built more than a business, a life unbreakable. Lauren's fall was her own, my rise, earned in silence. The fallout from the custody shift reshaped everything, but I dove into action, turning the garage into our steady base. Year 4's in brought winter's bite, snow piling on Jefferson Avenue, but business didn't slow. Jack, now 20 and halfway through his associate's degree, led the night crew while I handled days. Boss, we're up 30% this quarter. He reported one frosty morning, sliding profit sheets across the workbench. I'd hired 2 more techs from the neighborhood, teens from the community center I'd sponsored anonymously via Harlan's fund. Sophie, 11 and thriving, rode the bus straight to the garage after school, her purple backpack thumping as she hopped into log parts inventory. Daddy, I balanced the tires today. Check the log. Pride hit hard. Perfect entry, kiddo. Now help with the alternator test. Full custody meant routines. Homework at the office desk, dinner from the grill out back, bedtime with stories of Dad's old races. Lauren's supervised visits kicked off at the park, 2 hours Saturdays, a social worker overseeing. First one, she arrived on foot, no car in sight. Alex, this is humiliating. Can't we drop the charges? Court says no. Focus on Sophie. She tried engaging, pushing swings, sharing snacks, but Sophie kept glances at me. Mommy, why can't you work at the garage too? Lauren forced a nod. Maybe soon, baby. But her questions probed, business exploding. New hires, equipment. Where's the cash coming from? Savings and sweat. I replied, cutting it short. The social worker noted her unease, filing reports that strengthened my case. Twist 1 unfolded midwinter, sharp as a snapped axle. Lauren started her admin shift, court-mandated community service at the garage, 20 hours weekly. She logged in at 9 a.m., handling phone bookings with clipped efficiency. Jack showed her the system. Enter VIN here, schedule next service. She picked it up quick, but chafed. This is beneath me. Ryan's lawyers say I could fight harder. Fight fair, then, I said, prepping a clutch job. Sophie watched from the bay, eyes curious. Weeks in, discrepancies popped. Cash drawer short $200 one Friday, another $150 the next. I reviewed CCTV footage alone that night. Lauren pocketing bills during slow hours, stuffing them in her purse. Heart sank, but resolve locked in. No confrontation yet. Gather proof. I installed extra cameras the next day, Jack wiring them discreetly. Got your back, boss, he whispered. Lauren's greed escalated. During a visit, Sophie mentioned her new sneakers, affordable ones from Target. Mommy said she'd buy designer ones. Lauren shrugged. When things turn around. But the shorts continued. $300 gone by month's end. I confronted her after closing, footage on my tablet. Explain this. She snatched at it. You spying? That's my money. Ryan's debts, Sophie's needs. Stealing from the business. From us. I called the cops' non-emergency line, statement ready. Wayne County PD arrived quick. She was cuffed on-site for petty theft, charges filed. Alex, don't do this. She pleaded as they let her out. Sophie, overhearing from the office, ran to me. Daddy, is mommy in trouble? Yeah, kiddo. But we handle it right. Court reconvened fast. Lauren's aiding charge compounded with theft, sentencing to probation, restitution, and mandatory financial counseling. Supervised visits cut to monthly. The community heard whispers. Mrs. Ramirez stopped by with soup. You did what a father's gotta. Proud of you. As spring thawed the streets, the garage's reputation soared. Local news ran a spot. East Side Mechanic builds youth program. I'd funneled discretionary funds into after-school auto classes, 10 kids learning basics, Jack assisting. One evening, a mom pulled me aside. My boy Miguel, troubled, skipping school, now talks engines nonstop. Thank you. Sophie volunteered, demonstrating spark plug swaps to cheers. Her confidence bloomed. Grades hit straight A's. Twist 2 came via Harlan's quarterly call, voice calm over the line. Clean audit, Alex. But intel on your ex. Back in year 1, she contacted Victor's old firm, fishing for inheritance rumors after your dad's passing. No payout, but she pushed hard, even faked family ties. Rage flickered, then steadied. Knew it. Proof? Emails logged. Use if needed. I filed it away, but it crystallized her pattern. Always chasing easy wealth, never building. That weekend, during Lauren's park visit, Sophie relayed it innocently. Mommy, Daddy's program helped me as brother get a job. Lauren's eyes narrowed at me across the playground. Youth fund. Where'd that start? You're hiding something. Hard work starts everything, I said, pushing Sophie on the swing. Later, alone with the social worker, Lauren vented. He's changed, too successful. Ryan said guys like him cut corners. The worker noted it, another strike against her instability. Summer hit with heat waves, garage fans whirring. Sophie turned 12, party at the shop. Burgers, a bouncy castle rented cheap. 20 kids racing go-karts I'd fixed up. Lauren arrived for her hour, probation anklet hidden under socks. She tried bonding, helping with plates, but Sophie pulled away. Mommy, why'd you take the money? Lauren knelt. Mistake, baby. Mommy's learning. But restitution checks bounced twice. Court threatened jail. I covered the garage's loss from profits. No fun touch. Harlan approved. Legit expense. Lauren cornered me post-party. Help me, Alex. For old times. I know you've got resources. Earn them. She left fuming, but the evidence mounted. Her old email surfaced in her case file, proving prior greed. Probation extended, visits phone only. Sophie adapted fast, sketching garage logos for a school project. Daddy, this is our team now. By fall, for years down, 1 to go, the weight lifted. Theft resolved legally, no violence, just accountability. Jack graduated, opening a satellite repair spot nearby. Your training, boss. Community fund grew, anonymous donations routing through Harlan for scholarships. Lauren faded to background noise, her calls pleading. Lost the apartment. Can Sophie visit? Court said no. My life. Solid. Father, mentor, builder. The secret held, but its power shifted, not for revenge, but legacy. Victor's test neared end. I'd aced it through deeds, not dollars. The final year unfolded like a well-tuned engine, steady and powerful. 5 years since Uncle Victor's letter, and I'd kept every promise. Silence, hard work, no shortcuts. The garage on Jefferson Avenue now spanned 4 bays, a beacon for the East Side. Jack, 21 and fresh from his degree, managed the youth program full-time. 15 teens learning welding, diagnostics, even business basics. Boss, Miguel's first solo repair, brakes on his mom's van. Jack reported one crisp morning, clapping the kid on the back. Sophie, 12 and sharp as a torque wrench, led the girls' group, teaching spark plug gaps to wide-eyed students. Daddy, they fixed a bike chain today, no crashes. Her purple backpack hung by the office door, stuffed with project notes and a new wrench set I'd engraved with her initials. Profits soared without the secret fund, community contracts from local fleets, word of mouth from fixed rigs. Alimony to Lauren ended with custody finalization, her probation wrapped clean but scarred. Monthly calls persisted, voice thin over the line. Alex, I'm in a shelter. Job at a diner. But Sophie's birthday. Can I send a card? I'd forward it. No extras. Court records sealed her past. Theft restitution paid in installments. Aiding charges reduced to fines. She owned her mess now, rebuilding from scratch. Twist 1 arrived with the calendar flipped to summer. Harlan called it dawn, voice steady. Term ends midnight. Meet at my Detroit office tomorrow. Sign the release. I hung up, pulse racing. That evening, after closing, Sophie and I grilled steaks out back. Her favorite, medium rare. Daddy, what's after the big 5? More classes? She flipped a burger, grease sizzling. More building, kiddo. For you for them. I didn't spill yet, one night left. But as we ate, a knock echoed. Lauren, unannounced, standing at the chain-link fence. Social services had cleared an unscheduled visit. Heard about the program. Sophie's glowing. Can I join? Volunteer? Sophie froze, fork midway. I stood. Court says phone only. Prove stability first. Lauren clutched a paper bag, cheap gift wrap peeking. It's her birthday soon. Just this. Sophie took it. A sketchbook, pages already filled with her old drawings, copied clumsily. Mommy, you remember the cars. Always do, baby. But as Lauren left, Sophie whispered, she smells like coffee. Tired. I nodded, hugging her. Harlan's words echoed. No breaches. But compassion tugged. Lauren's fall complete. No more greed to exploit. The signing happened at 10 a.m. in Harlan's high-rise overlooking the river. Papers stacked. Trust dissolution. Asset transfer. $500 million. Liquid now. Stocks. Real estate. Bonds. Uncle Victor's proud, Harlan said, shaking my hand. You lived it. No leaks. No splurges. Character 1. I signed, felt no rush of power, just freedom. Back at the garage, Jack waited. Everything square. More than ever. That afternoon, I pulled Sophie aside during her class demo. Kiddo, remember the stories of hidden treasures? Ours just unlocked. Her eyes widened as I explained. Simple, no drama. Daddy, we can help everyone. No tears, just plans, scholarships, expansions. She hugged fierce. But you're still my fixer first. Twist 2 struck post-release, a legal curveball. Lauren's lawyer contacted me, settlement offer. She's clean 6 months, steady job, therapy logs. Wants expanded visits. In exchange, drops any alimony claims forever. Attached, her emails from year 1, the ones Harlan flagged, now public in her rehab file. She'd confessed in counseling. chasing Victor's rumored wealth pre-divorce, even calling distant cousins for dirt. Proves her pattern, the lawyer noted. But she's changed. I met her at a neutral coffee shop off Gresham, Sophie at school. Lauren sat straight, hands folded. Alex, I get it now. Greed blinded me. Ryan was the trap. You were the way out. For Sophie, more time? Actions first. I slid over a proposal. Volunteer at the youth program, 6 months supervised. Pass, and visits weekly. Fail, status quo. She nodded quick. Deal. Back home. Sophie weighed in over homework. If she helps the kids like you, maybe. Trust rebuilt inch by inch. No revenge, just measured grace. Fall brought harvest. First big checks cleared. I invested smart. $2 million into the garage trust, funding a full trade school wing. Jack broke ground, teens cheering. Sophie picked the plaque. Rivera Youth Auto Academy, built on character. Community poured in. Mrs. Ramirez's family donated tools. The church hosted graduations. Miguel landed an apprenticeship. 3 girls started their own repair side hustle. Lauren clocked volunteer hours, logging parts with patience. Teaching that kid alignments. Feels right, she admitted one day. Sophie watched, thawing slow. Mommy's trying, Daddy. Winter capped it with Sophie's 13th birthday bash, Academy open house, 50 guests, go-kart races on the lot. Lauren arrived early, helping set up without prompt. As cake cut, she pulled me aside. Thank you. For the chance. I don't deserve it, but Sophie's worth it. No grovel, just fact. Sophie blew candles, Wish whispered. Family that fixes together. That night, alone in the office, I reviewed ledgers. Millions secure, but the real wealth? The backpack on the hook, drawings pinned up, Jack's grin from across the bay. Harlan sent a final note. Victor's will had a clause. You passed, bonus unlocked. Family foundation in your name. I smiled. Lauren's accountability came through work, not handouts. Her rise, self-made. Mine, shared. Years later, Sophie graduated high school top of class. Backpack swapped for a toolkit engraved True Rich. She chose engineering at Michigan, interning at the academy. Lauren attended, seated beside me. Visits full, no strings. We made it, she said softly. I nodded. Money bought buildings. Character built lives. Betrayal's sting faded to lessen. Hold steady. Act true. And the engine runs forever. If you'd face a secret fortune after heartbreak, would you reveal it for revenge or build in silence? Drop your thoughts below. What's your take on Alex's choice? Hit like if this hit home. Subscribe for more real twists on love and comeback. From which city are you watching?